Hello and welcome to www.luxurytolast.com. Today we're talking collecting watches and we're talking what are the rules for wearing a sports watch with a suit. Now this is a very interesting question because many people think it's okay to wear that fucking dinner plate special, that huge monstrosity which is really a clock, on their wrist with a suit. And I think this is a grave mistake. So let's just clarify, what are the rules for wearing a sports watch with a suit? Okay, the first thing I'd like to say is that this advice is purely subjective advice, and there's no right or wrong answer. But I think there is. If you follow my advice, you'll be partly on the way to sartorial splendor. So, firstly, what are the rules? Well, the rules are: if you are wearing a suit, you should try and use a sports watch. If you must use a sports watch, and by all means preference should be given to a dress watch, it should have a white dial. If you are wearing a suit with a black dial, that's a big no-no. And let's just clarify that point there. So if you're wearing a suit with a suit jacket, you should try and get a sports watch with a white dial. Like a Rolex Explorer 2, it comes in a white dial version. The Rolex Daytona comes in a white dial version. The Omega Seamaster comes in a white dial version. The black dial version, you can get away with wearing a black dial sports watch with a suit. However, you should try and remove the jacket as soon as possible because it does look a little bit over the top. The big fallacy with sports watches and wearing a suit is James Bond. Now, James Bond wore a Submariner in the first James Bond movie, and this has caused a lot of confusion and a lot of angst. So let's just clarify it. The movie is adapted from the novel, and in the novel itself, James Bond wore a Rolex Explorer 1. That's a very simple, elegant, accurate watch. So Rolex Explorer 1 is acceptable, even though it's got a black dial, to be worn with a suit because it doesn't have functions or features. It's a very discreet watch. And, of course, what's happened is in the movie he wore a no crown guard 5508, and basically that's caused confusion. Now, there was a no crown guard Submariner. Okay, so let's just put this into perspective here. So it was not the huge Sea Dweller or a Breitling Super Ocean he's wearing. He's wearing a no crown guard Submariner. Now, let's put that into context there. So James Bond, he's a international spy, agent of mystery. He's allowed to wear a black dial sports watch unless you are a spy, a secret agent. Don't wear a black dial sports watch with a suit. So there you have it. That's the rules. If you're wearing a jacket, like a suit with a jacket, you should try and wear a white dial sports watch. If you do have to wear a black dial one, take the jacket off as soon as possible. If you are wearing a sports coat, you can. It's a little bit more acceptable to have the black dial, but try and avoid it. The preference is always to have a dress watch. Now, let's just clarify a couple other things. A sports watch on a leather strap is not a dress watch. Okay, so if a lot of people are putting straps on watches these days, it does not make it a dress watch. A proper dress watch is a Patek Philippe Calatrava, a Audemars Piguet Ultra Thin, a Vacheron Constantine. Those are traditional dress watches. Sports watches are made to do sporting activities. So, as far as the rules go, try and stop wearing a sports watch with a suit. You really, when I see someone with a sports watch, and they're wearing a suit, it just says to me they can't afford to have more than one watch. So it's not a good look at all. So that's the rules for sports watches and wearing it with a suit. And I hope you've enjoyed this clip, and don't forget to come to my website www.luxurytolast.com. Thank you.